pass if you don't want to answer anything. And right. So the first question is, what made you decide to participate in these set dance classes?
With Parkinson's, your mobility is compromised. So as you go along, you get a little stiffer. So anything that would help the mobility, I go for. So I heard that the news was good about the set dancing, that it does help mobility and flexibility, and so I decided to go for it.
Very good. And do you feel better immediately after the class than you did before?
Yes, immediately after the class, I walk out of the hall, as it were, with a pep in my step. Now, after a while then, it's like after playing a game for you. You know, the way when you walk off the field, you're so much better able to move, and you're livelier. But the trouble is, you need to do it every day or a couple of times a day.
Mm. And I would say it would enhance your lifestyle then.
Oh, it would. It definitely helps mobility.
Okay. And how does living with Parkinson's affect your daily routine?
Almost every day is different. Not quite every day, but it varies. A lot depends on how well organised you are. If you take your tablets regularly and at regular times, that's a help. That does help. Some days, for some reason, you're quite a lot stiffer than others, and some days you have some pain, stiffness that would affect you. Otherwise, I feel I can do everything that I normally did, except at a slower rate. It takes me longer to get dressed, it takes me longer to do the chores, but I can do everything mostly that I always did.
Yeah. And are you part of any support groups in your community? Would you consider this a support group?
Yes, we have a ladies club, and I'm part of that. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
And I'm part of the set dancing, and I'm involved a bit with the drama when that's on. And I'd also be involved with the Irish Nights when they're running. So I would be. I always participated in the local community, so I kind of more or less do the same as I always did.
Yeah, it's important. And what is your usual mode of transport?
Drive the car is usual,
yeah. And does set dancing allow you to be less reliant on medication?
I would hope so. You know, I would imagine that you still need your medication, but it would slow down the strength of it. Like for Parkinson's, you go for a checkup to your neurologist about once a year, and by being actively involved, it means that you stay on the same level of medication rather than increasing the dose. So I think it definitely helps to keep you from increasing the dose. And there are side effects to all medication, so therefore the more you can keep back the dose, the better for you.
Yeah.
Yourself.
And do you feel you have support in your community?
Oh, I would say so, definitely. I've never felt the lack of it, really.
Yeah, that's good. Is there any room for improvement in institutions to facilitate people with Parkinson's?
Well, I'm sure there's always room for improvement, but I'm at the stage still that I can do things for myself, so if you like, it doesn't arise. So I probably could answer that more in the years to come. But I'm sure there's probably always things that you can do to improve. But there's a lot happening at the moment in the last year, even since I was diagnosed. I was diagnosed in 2005, and even since then, there was no neurologist in the area when I got diagnosed first. Now there are 2 in Limerick, there's 1 in Tralee and several in Cork. Whereas I had to go to Tralee in the beginning, you know, to lay it down there. So there's huge improvements, really.
Yeah. And do you think the Irish Parkinson's Association does enough for people with Parkinson's?
Yeah, they're a volunteer organisation and they work very hard. Really.
Yes, yeah.
I would say so, yes. I'd be very happy with they have a meeting every month. And they keep us informed of all the different activities, and they organise swimming classes and different activities, really, and singing. But I'm not a singer. So I don't take part in it really that much.
Yes, and do you feel the set dance classes have helped your condition?
it definitely gives me more flexibility. No. And what is particularly good is I think Pat has targeted the deficits in Parkinson's and the movements that I find difficult, such as balance and walking sideways. You know, he does the slide step, which is very good, because one of the most difficult things to do, believe it or not, is to come out of a crowded pub, try to go walk sideways. And he does exercises and steps to counteract the deficits. So I think that's really important, and that's where I feel the real benefit is.
Yes, yeah, it's important. And have you any suggestions or ideas that can help improve our project?
No, I think the fact there's a group of you doing it, it means you should be more aware. Even now, we will probably see people walking the street and say, oh, they have Parkinson's, because after being diagnosed yourself, you can pick off people very, very easily. I think it's great to raise awareness, and I think the fact even that you're doing the project, your families will know more about it, and anything that raises awareness has to be good.
Yes. Thank you. So that's really going to help us. And thanks, Ben.
Yeah, you might like test when people diagnose. I told you there, because you might be bearing on your conclusions. You know how long have the people diagnosed with it? It's just a question if you like test. Or you might think it too personal. Maybe it's not fitting in with what you're doing.
Yes.
So any other time if you want to ring or ask me, you've my number, Pat.
Yeah.
Patrick. So I'll be handy anytime.
Thanks, Ben.
It's all for the good.